So today's practice is a really simple one, and it's using our body and the awareness of our body as a way to get back in touch with curiosity and a sense of wonder, actually, because when we do tune into our bodies and the sensations that are there, it can be quite surprising, and we take it for granted, and it gives us clues really about what our real internal state is. So that's what we're going to do today, is a really simple practice of just paying attention. And if, like most humans, when we do that, your mind decides to wander somewhere else, see if you can just bring curiosity to where it's gone. So rather than judging yourself and your experience of, oh my God, I can't even pay attention, my mind is just so annoying, see if you can just notice, oh, look, my mind's wandered, and bring it back. And also see if when you do get hooked by a thought or something that you need to get done, or a memory or anything difficult, seeing if you can just bring a bit of gentle compassion for that process rather than getting hooked by the content of it, and just notice, oh, we go, there's that emotion, or there's that thought. Most of us have thoughts that tend to be on a repeat circuit that go round and round. So if that happens, it's just another thing to notice. So gently closing down your eyes and just finding yourself here, wherever that is for you today. And just noticing, first of all, how it feels in your whole body. So that snapshot really of what's happening in my body today. Are there any surprising sensations as you tune in and pay attention? Where's the most discomfort in your body this morning? Where are you most aware of because it's complaining and telling you something? Where's the most comfortable part of your body right now? Maybe this feels more like it's just not even telling you anything. Maybe it's just silence. So just have a feel in your body. What's the most comfortable part of your body right now? It could be something really innocuous like your elbow or some part of your leg, or just feel into it. Can you tell where's comfortable or not comfortable in your body? Many of us, myself included, are often quite disconnected from the internal sensations of our body. We spend our days from the neck up in our head, and it can be quite a shock to then notice that there's this body with all sorts of signals and sensations. And then we'll begin a process of just scanning our body step by step, coming back when we get distracted, just really feeling into what we can feel. So we'll begin with the very tips of our toes this morning. And you can even give those a little wiggle to remind you and to get that connection to them. Our ability to feel our body in space is governed by a very small area of the brain. And sometimes it's like anything, the less we use it, it kind of takes time to get back in touch with our body. Where does your body end? Where do your toes end? Feeling the sensations of your socks or your shoes, or the feel of the carpet or the floor underneath you, or maybe the bed if you're still snuggled up. Just noticing any sensations in your toes and your feet. Maybe as you pay attention to your toes, you can feel a gentle tingling in the toes. If you've meditated with me before, we pay attention to our fingertips and our toes, and as we do so, our mind, our nervous system thinks that we're preparing for movement, and we start to generate the sensation of the electrical signal rating. It's like it's primed for movement. So as you pay attention to your toes now, maybe you feel that conversation happening with your nervous system as your toes prepare for movement. And just notice the curve of your arch of your foot. Again, we're not used to paying attention to our foot in detail, but can you notice the side of the foot? Notice how your foot is on the floor. Do your feet fall inwards towards each other? Do they fall outwards? Just notice. Our feet tend to be somewhere we don't accumulate stress, so that it can be quite a nice place to put our attention. Although you might feel a sense of dull aching if you're somebody who's on their feet a lot, it can be a place of release of tension as it flows out. And you can imagine, because our feet touch the earth, that if we have got stress or tension in the body, you can allow it to flow through the feet out, down into the earth beneath you. The ultimate grounding device. So maybe even beginning to allow any stress and tension in the body, just imagining that it can flow down to your feet and just be absorbed by the earth with infinite capacity for all of our stresses and pressures. With that sensation of your feet on the ground, you can even push down your feet into the ground just for a moment to feel that connection to the earth. And notice as you do that, that the muscles in your legs begin to activate. And as you release, the muscles relax. Noticing your ankles and your shins and the lower leg. Are there any sensations there this morning? Can you just notice? Can you imagine and feel where your legs are without being with your eyes open? Noticing your knees and the bend of the knee. Noticing the underside of the knee. Maybe the connection point with the chair or your bed. And traveling up the thighs. Noticing where the weight sits in your chair. Perhaps you can feel your clothes against your skin. Maybe as you pay attention, there's a heaviness or a lightness to the legs. Maybe a sense that as you pay attention, there's a softening. Maybe there's also restlessness in the legs. Just be curious. Feeling held by the chair and knowing that there's nothing you need to do right now. Setting an intention to be right here. There's nothing else to do. There's nowhere else to go right now. This is it. Just moment by moment connecting to your body. Allowing your body to feel heard by you and seen by you. Instead of just being this mindless vehicle. Noticing your hips. And seeing if there's any sensations in the hips. Any tension. Can you notice your body curling inwards, the hips tight, constricted? Can you feel an openness? Feeling that whole pelvic region. Just noticing. Without trying to do anything or make anything happen. Unlike the rest of our lives where we are busy, rushing, right now we're just being with whatever sensations arise. Noticing the lower belly. And the lower belly can have lots of information for us when we pay attention. There's lots of layers, lots of organs, lots of sensations. And it's also an area that when we're in the stress response, it goes offline a little bit. Our digestion isn't needed if we're going to be a tiger's lunch, so our mind takes some of the blood flow away, making things sluggish. Just notice, how does yours feel after a weekend of rest? If you're listening to this on a Monday morning. Notice any judgments about your belly, about your body, this vehicle that carries you and takes you through your life. Notice your belly button. Can you feel the belly button or an awareness of where it is? Maybe you feel your clothes against your belly. Noticing the beginning of the rib cage and the back, the spine. Are there other areas of your body that are asking for attention as we go through the body, that want to take you away from this gentle creeping through the body? Maybe your mind is full of thoughts, and that's okay too. Just gently come back. So now we reach the rib cage. We'll begin to notice that as we breathe, the belly and the rib cage and the chest gently rise and fall. And can you notice any other sensations? In this middle part of our body, we often don't pay much attention to. Can you just notice? Does it feel like the rib cage can open with ease as you breathe? Is there a feeling of tightness, of control? Sometimes when we pay attention to the breath, it almost becomes momentarily difficult. Like our mind thinks we want to control it. And see if you can let that go and let your body open, expand, breathe. Breathing up into the chest and the heart space. And again, this can be an area we're protective of. That we close, our shoulders curl around, particularly with our modern lifestyles of being hunched over a screen, our phones. Can you allow an opening as you pay attention? Maybe noticing the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Where are they? Can the muscles be allowed to soften and open like a flower unfurling? Maybe even momentarily imagining your favorite flower as if it was the center of your chest opening. Feeling as we meditate together that all of our heart spaces are connected. But somehow we're all energetically connected right now. Having a sense, a felt sense of our connection to each other, to all people, and knowing that we all suffer with the same busy minds, the same challenging thoughts and feelings, the same sense of struggle sometimes. And there's some relief in that. If the mind's wandered, just coming back to that heart space, being curious about any sensations. And as you rise up the back of the neck into the head, noticing the jaw and the forehead, the whole face. Imagining for a moment a gentle touch against your cheek that allows everything to soften. An offering of compassion. Compassion for whatever difficult sensation have come up. And compassion for the disconnection that happens as we rush through our days. And we'll take 3 deep breaths to bring in a sense of compassion for our body, for our experience. Breathing in through the nose, deeply into the belly. And then breathing out through the nose. And you can put your hand on your chest or your belly as you breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose. And breathing out through the nose. And then gently letting the breath find its natural rhythm. And we'll return a little bit of movement to the hands and to the feet until just gently allowing that movement to travel up the wrists and the arms. We've neglected our arms and our hands in this practice, so just notice how it feels to move them. Noticing the legs, the feet, and just taking any movement without any particular pattern or order, just to feel your body moving. And then gently blinking open the eyes and just keeping the gaze soft for a moment. And just as your eyes are open and that awareness of the world around you coming flooding back in, just see if you can stay connected to your body. And as you go through your day-to-day, it can be a really useful way to create a micro moment, whether there's a certain activity that you do regularly, maybe you make yourself a cup of tea or you go to the bathroom, to just check in, how does my body feel right now? And it can be quite surprising as you go through your day that as you do that, how disconnected we become. And also how quickly when we practice, we can get back into our bodies, and which reduces the impact of stress on our bodies. So we don't get to the end of the day feeling as frazzled as if we had just put our head down and kept going.